Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today's story takes us straight into the heart of South African politics, where the line between law enforcement and political power seems to be blurring once again. At the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla dropped a set of bombshells that have rattled the political establishment. Mkhwanazi accused two senior ministers, Police Minister Bheki Cele and Public Service Minister Senzo Mchunu, of interfering in police operations. That alone is enough to raise eyebrows, but the details he laid out suggest something much deeper, a culture where political influence seeps into investigations and weakens the very institutions meant to protect the public. Let's start with the most shocking claim. Mkhwanazi told the commission that in December 2024, the province's political killings task team was suddenly disbanded. This was no ordinary police unit. It was specifically created to investigate politically linked murders in KwaZulu-Natal, a province infamous for its deadly mix of politics, crime, and power struggles. The disbanding of this task team, according to Mkhwanazi, did not come from an operational decision but from political pressure. And the name tied to that pressure was Minister Senzo Mchunu. Now, if you know anything about KwaZulu-Natal politics, you know how serious this is. The province has endured years of political assassinations, councillors gunned down in their driveways, activists silenced with bullets, and turf wars over tenders turning into bloody feuds. Disbanding the very unit designed to stop these killings is like taking the fire extinguisher out of a burning building. But the testimony did not stop there. Mkhwanazi added another explosive layer, linking Mchunu to two businessmen, Vusimusi, Matlala and Brown Mogotsi. According to him, Matlala was not just a businessman but a financial backer of political events tied to Mchunu. Mogotsi, on the other hand, allegedly served as a messenger, delivering instructions that influence police deployments and decisions. In plain terms, that means private individuals, with political ties, could have been steering law enforcement priorities in KwaZulu-Natal. It sounds like something out of a crime series, but sadly, it fits the pattern of how politics and policing often collide in South Africa. Turning to Bheki Cele, the commissioner accused him of bypassing proper channels and contacting district commissioners directly. At first glance, that may look like a minister trying to be hands-on. But in policing, structure matters. When a minister skips the chain of command, it undermines the authority of senior officers and weakens accountability. Investigations suffer because political instructions start to overshadow professional judgment. Now picture this in real terms. Imagine detectives following a lead in a sensitive political case, only for instructions to come down from a minister through an unusual channel. Do those detectives pursue the evidence, or do they worry about their careers if they step on the wrong political toes? That is the danger Mkhwanazi was pointing to, the erosion of independence, the quiet message that politics comes before justice. We also have to consider the timing. December 2024 was a volatile period. The ANC was facing internal faction battles, by-elections were on the horizon, and political killings were once again making headlines. Removing the task team during that period gave the impression that stability within party structures mattered more than solving murders. For communities living under the threat of political violence, it was a devastating blow. Let's not forget, political killings in KwaZulu-Natal are not abstract. They are real, brutal, and ongoing. Councillors have been assassinated outside their homes. Whistleblowers and activists often speak out once, then disappear. Families are left without justice, and communities learn to keep their heads down. Against that backdrop, dismantling the task team looks not just suspicious but dangerous. What makes the story even more gripping are the personalities involved. Bheki Cele, with his trademark fedora hat and his reputation as a no-nonsense, loud-talking minister, has always positioned himself as the tough guy in South African policing. But critics argue that behind the theatrics, his record is thin. Now, With accusations of meddling directly in police work, his credibility is under a new kind of pressure. Senzo Mchunu, meanwhile, has long been seen as a strategic player in KZN politics. But if the commissioner's claims about links to businessmen like Matlala are true, it feeds into a bigger narrative about how money and politics intertwine. Political events don't pay for themselves, and those who hold the purse strings often expect influence in return. So where does this leave South Africans? For one, it exposes the fragility of law enforcement institutions. The public already struggles with trust in the police. Crime rates are high, and confidence is low. Now add the possibility that political figures are steering investigations or shutting down critical task teams, and trust erodes even further. The Madlanga Commission's job is to untangle this mess. It must sift through testimony, weigh evidence, and decide whether these claims point to outright interference or a misunderstanding of ministerial oversight. But already, the testimony has sparked debate. Is this just another round of political finger-pointing, or is it a genuine glimpse into how deep the rot runs? What is certain is that victims of political violence deserve better. Their cases cannot be shuffled aside because they make powerful people uncomfortable. The disbanding of the Political Killings Task Team should not just be a line in a report. It should be a wake-up call that unless law enforcement is protected from interference, democracy itself is at risk. South African politics often feels like a drama with no intermission. You have ministers clashing with commissioners, businessmen appearing in the background, and task teams vanishing overnight. But beneath the theatrics lies the lived reality of communities facing violence and fear. And that is why Mkhwanazi's testimony matters. So, what do you think? Are these claims solid evidence of political meddling, or just part of the endless factional wars inside the ANC? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into South African politics, and share this with friends who enjoy unpacking the drama of our country's democracy. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, stay informed, stay sharp, and stay engaged. See you next time.